With the battle concluded, Sheng calmly walks away, hands in his pockets, leaving the unconscious form of Gayle lying on the arena floor behind him. The initial shock in the stadium quickly gives way to a roaring explosion of excitement and disbelief. Spectators leap to their feet, shouting that Sheng, a level 10 warrior, had just defeated a level 12 warrior in a single, instantaneous blow. They declare that the power of the immortal bloodline is simply terrifying and monstrous. One spectator in particular, who had bet on Sheng to win, is overcome with joy. He holds his winning ticket high in the air, laughing and shouting that he won. He is so ecstatic that he jokingly calls Sheng his father, exclaiming that now he won't have to jump into space, a fate he presumably would have faced had he lost his bet. The announcer is equally energized by the spectacular result. He pumps his fist, declaring the match unbelievable and saying he can't wait for the tournament to continue. Back in the private viewing box, the atmosphere is thick with tension. Sebastian and the sector chief of the Hill Star sector are left in stunned silence by the outcome. The sector chief is completely shaken, muttering "impossible" over and over again. She cannot comprehend how the fight could have been decided with just a single move. As she processes what she has just witnessed, she begins to analyze Sheng's power, concluding that for him to possess such strength, he must have broken through his limits at least 4 times. The thought that a mere level 10 warrior could achieve such a feat leaves her in a state of utter shock. Sebastian's shock, however, quickly melts away, replaced by unrestrained glee. He bursts into a loud, excited laugh, calling Sheng a true monster. He reflects on his own past, admitting he had only managed to break his limit once when he was at level 10. He then wonders with giddy anticipation what incredible new levels of power Sheng will reach once he finally advances to level 12. A wide, mischievous, and incredibly proud grin spreads across his face, clearly delighting in the spectacular victory and the complete shock it has delivered to his rival. Still reveling in his excitement, Sebastian turns to the stunned sector chief of the Hill Star sector. He mockingly asks his old friend what she was just saying, reminding her that she wanted to see a fight between Sheng and Monroe. He then adds with a smug grin that it looks like she will get to see that match after all. Completely flustered, the sector chief stammers, trying to save face. She forces a laugh and agrees that Sheng's performance was remarkable, but quickly adds that her champion, Monroe, is on a completely different level than Gayle. Not wanting to endure the humiliation any longer, she abruptly announces that she has just remembered she has something to do and quickly rushes away. Ecclesia watches her go with a faint, amused smile. The moment she is gone, Sebastian explodes into a childish and jubilant celebration. Pumping his fists in the air, he shouts that she got what she deserved and that he's glad she's angry, all while praising Sheng for being so amazing. His celebration is interrupted by Ecclesia, who calmly points out that Sheng has already brought them many wonderful surprises, but this victory has completely exceeded all of their expectations. Her words sober him up, and he stops his happy dance, sheepishly agreeing with her. His excitement gives way to a moment of quiet awe as he strokes his beard, wondering to himself just how far their incredible champion, Sheng, can truly go. As Sheng walks through a corridor after his victory, his expression is calm and thoughtful. Suddenly, he stops, a questioning look on his face as he senses something. He turns his head sharply and looks up into the stands of the now darkened arena. His gaze locks onto a lone hooded figure staring down at him. Monroe. Monroe's single visible eye glows with an intense blue light, and a faint, challenging smirk plays on his lips. The intensity of the stare makes Sheng deeply uncomfortable. A comically drawn chibi version of him shivers in disgust, thinking to himself what a creepy look it is and comparing it to being targeted by a pervert. Just then, the tense moment is broken by the vibration of his communicator. He answers the call, and a holographic screen appears showing his sister, Chinga, who is bursting with excitement. She cheers and exclaims how unbelievably cool her big brother was, praising him for completely crushing his opponents and jokingly asking if he's really her brother. She continues to gush, asking him how he made his hair turn gold and insisting he must teach her his amazing techniques. Sheng listens with a warm but slightly weary smile, his thoughts trailing off. However, while he is on the call, his expression suddenly changes to one of pure shock. A powerful and unsettling presence washes over him, far different from Monroe's earlier stare. He quickly looks over both his shoulders, his face now serious and confused, wondering to himself who it was that gave him that strange feeling just a moment ago. The tournament continues, and while the subsequent matches are exciting, with warriors clashing fiercely, none of them can compare to the shocking spectacle of Sheng, a level 10 fighter, defeating a level 12 opponent. Even as the second round of matches begins, the crowd is still buzzing with excitement over his incredible victory, with many spectators still talking about how amazing he was. Meanwhile, Lu Sheng stands alone on a high balcony, looking out over the stadium, but his mind is elsewhere. He thinks to himself, wondering who it is that keeps watching him. He reflects that a mysterious, powerful gaze keeps appearing and disappearing, and if it weren't for his own highly sensitive spiritual power, he might have missed it completely. He notes that every time he tries to pinpoint the source of the gaze, it vanishes without a trace. This leads him to a startling conclusion. If he can't find the observer, it means that person's spiritual power must be greater than his own. Lu Sheng's eyes glow with a faint blue light as he considers the implications. His own spiritual power is at the peak of level 11, so for someone to be able to observe him undetected, their power would have to be far beyond his own. He realizes with a jolt that the mysterious observer must be at least level 13. The thought that there could be another master of such an incredible caliber present at the tournament deepens the mystery. He scans the VIP boxes where the sector chiefs and other high-ranking officials are seated, but he quickly dismisses the idea that one of them is the source, thinking it's unlikely. This leaves him with only two possibilities among the remaining contestants, Monroe and Qian Yushu, both of whom have shown an open and undisguised interest in him. As he stands looking out over the arena, he contemplates these two powerful and mysterious rivals. Lu Sheng's gaze settles on a lone figure meditating in the empty stands below, Qian Yushu. A curious smile plays on Lu Sheng's lips as he watches him, thinking to himself if this could be the one. He muses that Qian Yushu is so indifferent, he won't even spare him a glance. His expression then hardens with confidence. He clenches his fist, deciding that it doesn't matter who the mysterious observer is. If he ends up facing them in the tournament, he will simply beat them to death. However, this encounter leads him to a moment of self-reflection. He realizes that his spiritual power is in danger of becoming his biggest weakness. Deciding to rectify this, he finds a quiet spot to focus. He closes his eyes and concentrates, tapping into his internal power system and immersing himself in its depths to upgrade his spiritual abilities. Sometime later, the tournament resumes. The announcer takes the stage to announce the pairings for the second round of the finals, where the 7 remaining contestants will be narrowed down to 4. To everyone's surprise, Lu Sheng's name is drawn for a bye, meaning he automatically advances to the next round without having to fight. The announcer cheerfully comments on his incredible luck. Watching from a balcony as another match begins below, Lu Sheng smirks to himself. He wonders aloud if his luck is really that good, or if this convenient outcome could be the result of some behind-the-scenes manipulation. In their private box, the sector chief of the Hill Star sector furiously confronts Sebastian, accusing him and the organizers of rigging the draw to give Lu Sheng an advantage. With a smug, infuriating grin, Sebastian casually waves a hand and claims he had nothing to do with it. Elsewhere, Lian approaches Lu Sheng, telling him his performance has been absolutely stunning. He then explains that the bracket has been conveniently arranged so that the other 2 top contenders, Monroe and Qian Yushu, have been placed in separate matches against the remaining top seeds. Lian concludes that this all but guarantees Lu Sheng will be facing one of them in the final round. However, instead of showing any concern, Lu Sheng simply lies down on the floor with his hands behind his head, preparing to take a nap. Lian is left completely speechless and aghast, wondering how Lu Sheng could possibly be so relaxed, and even fall asleep right before the finals. He can only conclude that Lu Sheng is truly on another level of confidence. The tournament continues, and the announcer takes the stage with his usual explosive energy to announce the next semi-final match, Monroe vs. Zhen Quanglong. In the arena, Zhen Quanglong, a massive, muscular warrior with horns, roars his challenge at Monroe. He declares that he lost to Monroe 150 years ago, but now that he has mastered a new powerful technique, he will finally defeat him. Monroe, however, simply looks back at him with complete indifference, asking who he is and stating that he has no memory of him whatsoever. Enraged by this ultimate sign of disrespect, Zhen Quanglong's face contorts with fury, and he screams that he is going to kill Monroe. His body erupts in a violent purple aura as he leaps into the air, gathering an immense amount of crackling energy into his fists for a devastating attack. Monroe remains perfectly still. His single visible eye glows with an intense cold light as snowflakes begin to drift down around him. Before Zhen Quanglong's attack can even come close, Monroe unleashes his power. In an instant, his opponent is completely frozen solid in mid-air, encased in a massive, jagged prison of ice, utterly defeated without Monroe even moving a muscle. This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, then don't forget to subscribe and like the video.